In Glasgow it has always been pretty straightforward. It's all about winning. Steven Gerrard has simply failed to do so this season. Having been backed all the way by Dave King, it simply has not been good enough from his side. As it stands, Rangers fans who think the club has been on an upward curve now need to question how low their bar is set and take a reality check. Real progress, the gap is closing. Really? Well, here's Rangers' season. The truth. Rangers are set to end the season without a trophy. Image, Rangers FC, Press Association. I'm a believer in giving credit where it is due and criticizing when I feel it is warranted. So let's start with the fact that Gerrard did a fine job getting through to the group stages of the Europa League within weeks of entering post. Given that the club was put out by a team of part-timers from Luxembourg 12 months earlier, this was a big step in the right direction to come through 4 rounds and 8 ties while getting a squad to gel. It's not unreasonable to say they should have made it out of a weak group, but it's one step at a time. Getting there was a splendid effort and Gerrard was rightly applauded for that achievement. Rangers impressed in the Europa League. Image, Getty Images, domestically? I'm sorry, but it's been dreadful. Pure and simple. The talk of gaps narrowing puzzles me as the facts say differently. Let's be brutally honest, Celtic have been pretty poor in comparison with their standards of the 2 previous campaigns. There has been upheaval with a manager change, infighting over transfer kitties and Dedrick Boyata's apparent refusal to play. There was Moussa Dembele's angry departure and injuries left, right and centre with key players such as Tom Rogic, Lee Griffiths and Kieran Tierney have missed months of the season. Celtic have been flat as a pancake and the door was wide open for Rangers to walk through. Instead of taking that walk, Gerrard and his team are still stood at the bottom of the driveway. There has been a catalogue of errors. Aberdeen put paid to their cup dreams. Image, SNS Group. This is Scottish Cup semi-final weekend and Rangers are sitting in the house when, with the greatest of respect, a side such as Inverness Cayley Thistle can still win the trophy. It was the same on Bedford Cup final day when the Ibrox outfit were nowhere near Hampton. Gerrard said he'd be judged on trophies, his words, not mine, yet the 2 best chances were frittered away in dismal style. 1 goal in 3 cup clashes with Aberdeen over the 2 competitions saw them bombed out of both. Quite frankly, not good enough. Lose 1 you can accept, lose 2 and that's bad. In the league, in the games that matter, the figures are shocking. Steven Gerrard shakes hands with Neil Lennon. Image, SNS Group. We'll get to the Old Firm matches later, but here is a harsh and realistic fact away from the top 2. In the 9 matches against the 3rd, 4th and 5th teams in the table, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock and Hibs, Rangers have won just 1 game. That's right, 1. 3 attempts at beating Killie? Didn't do it once. 3 cracks at Hibs, no wins. A win over Aberdeen at Pittodrie. That's it. That is a desperate statistic for a Rangers team. As for the Celtic games, let's take them in isolation. The first one came when Dembele had just left. There was turmoil after they failed to make the Champions League, yet Celtic won a one-sided game. Rangers got their win at Christmas and they fully deserved it, but let's be honest, the visitors were down to the bare bones. They had to play Callum McGregor at left back, Mikey Johnston up front. They were in a right state. Image, SNS Group. 2 weeks ago, Celtic were again there for the taking. With 15 minutes to go and 10v10, Rangers had it in their hands. They dropped the ball, folded at a key point and lost a game they could, and should, have won. Bluster which followed afterwards about Scott Brown behaving badly and the apparent defiance on the pitch from players at the full-time whistle was pure deflection, but it did the job. Rangers had blown it, again. Alfredo Morelos was sent off for the 5th time. The indiscipline around the squad is not just down to him. Rangers have had 11 red cards this season, and what really would worry you is that, less than 24 hours after Gerrard told everyone he'd held a meeting with his players to demand the bad behavior stopped following a Scott Arfield ordering off against Hearts, his players were at it again. Image, SNS, Morelos saw red against Aberdeen and Kyle Lafferty only escaped one because the ref missed an incident. Are the players not listening? Gerrard was given a right few quid to spend last summer. In January the same with a big wage for Stephen Davis and Jermaine Defoe, yet he hasn't picked them in big games. The summer signings have been alright, but just alright. Nothing more. Ryan Kent is the best one, but he's alone. The likes of Eros Grezda and Borna Barisic have done hardly anything to justify the outlay. Now the message is the manager needs more funds. How many players is he going to go through before he finds the key? Rangers need another big spend in summer according to their own manager. Yet they have won no trophies this season. They are no closer to a regressing Celtic team than they were last season. They struggle to beat the teams around them in the league, and the top scorer, Morelos, may end up being sold in the summer to fund a recruitment drive. If you support Rangers and you think that represents progress, then good luck to you. As I said, the bar must be set pretty low.